Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Sold with Updike Pugh.
Episode 70. I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh. We are so excited to have everybody here. We've changed the time, as you've probably noticed. We're joining you hopefully with lunch, so enjoy, put your headset in, and can't wait to tell you about some of the crazy things going on this week.
They really are.
So I think you were going to do something with Girl Scout cookies, so go ahead and do that.
I was going to do something with Girl Scout cookies, and I got outvoted as to who was going to drive today, so my Girl Scout cookies are in the car. My car at the office, not your car that's here. So, but if you don't know, now is the time to buy Girl Scout cookies. They're out in front of every Tom Thumb. I have multiple nieces that are selling them this year. I've had to make multiple purchases, and so I think our next client appreciation gift is going to be Girl Scout cookies.
Why not? I mean, everybody wants a Girl Scout cookie, Thin Mint, Samoas, whatever it is.
It's it's this time of year when the market starts heating up and Girl Scout cookies come out. So.
And it's interesting because talk about the market heating up. There was an interesting article yesterday that Steve Brown wrote, and it was talking about Dallas home prices, how they have increased. It says 2.8, but the national average is coming in at 3.5, and I think that we're comfortable at this appreciation level. I think this makes a little more sense for both buyers and sellers.
Yeah, it's really normalized in the market now, I think. And we had those 8 to 10 to 12% price increases per year for 4 years.
That's tough.
And it was such a crazy market, and it was buyers didn't know what to do. Sellers thought they were just going to be raking in the money, and it got to the point where it was crazy.
Well, it's interesting because you and I both are really heavy right now in buyers right now, and that's great because they're getting ahead of what's going on in the spring market. And it's very interesting because we're seeing, because you and I are touring and showing a lot of homes in the last 3 weeks, and it seems like houses that are not move-in ready really have to pay attention to the pricing, and those houses that are in great condition, they're still on those, first 24 hours have offers on them.
Yeah, multiple offers sometimes.
And because of that, we're in a situation where we have some very specific buyer needs right now.
Yeah, we've actually 2 different groups of people that are looking for 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom homes in the Richardson School District. We got one of the buyers that will go up to $550,000, and they want something that's just really nice and clean. We got another set of buyers that are looking for something a little less expensive that'll really only want to go to about $400,000, but things are out there in that. It's just they're having to move very quickly to be one of the first people in.
And we thought that this would be a really interesting format for us to bring this to you, because hopefully someone sitting next to you might mention, or you'll bump into someone at the grocery store that's talking about it, and this might just be the trigger that says, oh yeah, Updike Pugh, they're looking for that. And give us a call. We'd love to help you out.
We're talking about the properties that we're talking about today are all in Frisco,
right?
And which is just a really cool market. And one of the people that we're looking for wants something very specific in Phillips Creek Ranch, and that's a huge master planned community out there, and they'll spend $900,000 on it. So if it's a 5-bedroom, or better, has a pool, and it's coming on the market out there, let us know. They'd like to have something in the next 45 to 60 days.
And they're in a situation where they don't have to sell, so they actually can be a very strong buyer for somebody.
Yeah, they're ready to buy today. We've got some really great inventory coming on too that I think we need to mention. We have a lot of people that are looking in the Oak Lawn market right now, and they're looking for condominiums, townhomes, something that's got that real low maintenance lifestyle. We have a really great 2-story condo, 2-bedroom, bath and a half, that'll be priced in the 160 range. That's really pretty good. We have an East Dallas fixer-upper coming on in a couple of weeks that is such a cool house. It's a large 5-bedroom house, 2,300 square foot, great lot on a cul-de-sac.
And this one has the guest house.
Yes.
And from our experience just here recently, guest houses seem to be the new it. If it's a she shed, if it's a workplace studio, or if it's for extended family members, these are really getting a lot of traction.
It was chicken coops for a while.
It was chicken coops last year, and you heard it here first. We said it.
We had so much fun with the chicken coop show, and we got so much feedback from people who were like, "I really want a house with a chicken coop." So
it's interesting how things are moving.
Yeah, and we have a couple of lots that I think are a really good value that are up on Forest Lane. They're right off the corner of Forest Lane and Hillcrest. They're both half-acre lots. You can buy them individually, buy them together. Great building sites. And they are now priced under $450,000 a piece, which would make them less than $900,000 for a full acre of land on Forest Lane,
which is unheard of. So if you're looking for something like that, we've got those for you, and that is just the ones that we're probably bringing on in the next 30 days. So we still have more stuff, but this is what we're bringing on in the next 30 days, and wanted to make you all aware of it.
Okay.
Well, let's jump in.
Let's jump in. We chose to talk about Frisco today. We've spent a lot of time out there this year. I think we've sold 4 or 5 homes. People ask, well, where do you work? And we're kind of realtors that follow our client base.
Right.
And so people that we helped 25 years ago buy their first house or their first condominium together, we're now helping find their house in Frisco. We just work with some people in McClendon Chisholm.
That is way out there.
Yeah, our gas bill went way up last year.
It did, at least the toll didn't.
But anyway, let's jump into our first house. The first one is at 11466 Eagle Bend Lane, and we're going to show you 3 different homes, 3 different price points for Frisco.
And this is one of the neighborhoods that actually has the golf course right there, as you can see, Plantation Resort. And it meanders through this area. And as we were driving out, this is one of those areas where you could literally be on the golf course in minutes from your house. Really good access on this one. So if you're commuting, you've got the major highways, and it's not one of those neighborhoods that's tucked so far back that it takes you another 20 minutes to get to it. The other thing, too, is that Toll Road is on from here just to the west, and then to the east, you can get on 75. So depending on what Waze says is your best route for commuting, you'd be able to get there quite easily.
Yeah, Plantation Springs is really cool because it's got one street in, one street out. It's a U-shaped, horseshoe-shaped street. There are only 174 homes in this subdivision. There are 2 on the market, 6 sales in there last year, and the average sales price is about $390,000. So it's still a very affordable neighborhood. One of the other things that I wanted to say about this neighborhood is it is one of those that has a 14-acre green belt in the center of it with a creek, and it's called the Upper White Rock Creek and flows all the way through that northern part of Dallas into White Rock Lake. Many years ago, this HOA worked with the federal government and now has that 14-acre creek protected under the U.S. Clean Water Act, and it is governed by the U.S. Corps of Engineers. And talk about wildlife. When you go to their website and you look at their about page, they show pictures of bobcats, and they show pictures of coyotes, and they show pictures of owls, and all of these very unique migrating birds that just end up there because it's an area they feel comfortable going into.
And as anything like that, it is a value add to a home, and it also makes it a standout.
Absolutely. So this is the house itself is a really great plantation style home. It is definitely a front porch neighborhood where you've got a nice big covered front porch that you just want to go out and sit in the rocking chairs on.
And this is a floor plan, as it opens up, is a very easy floor plan to live in. Many times we get into houses and something looks very artistically interesting, but yet it's not quite livable. And this house, from front door to the back door, is a very livable home. Large open studio, and you can see in here they've kind of taken it a little bit further and created also a seating area as well. And then just across from that, you have a dining room that can be set up as a formal, but it's got really great lights as well, so a really warm, inviting feel.
Yep, big vaulted ceilings. The Palladium-style windows bring a lot of extra light into these rooms. Even though this house was built about 30 years ago, it still has that very attractive open air floor plan where people in the kitchen can still talk to people that they're entertaining in the living room, has the central bar set up, and just a very well done home.
And the way that this house flows, this opens up both to the living room and to the dining room, as you can see there, and then it has a small eat-in little kitchen area. One of the things that I always love is for these things to actually be able to work with the outdoor space. And because of the way this is situated, it does open to it. Now the master is down, and the master also has large windows and does also look over the saltwater pool that we'll take a look at later.
This is the master bath, has the corner tub, separate shower, the solid surface countertops. And when you go upstairs, you've got really good separation in the bedrooms because you've got this catwalk across the second floor. So you've got one room, which is really a media room, and this is not just a bedroom used as that. It really was built as a media room. Beautiful bedroom on the front that is very good size, has an attached bathroom to it. And then when you walk across the catwalk, you have the other bedroom there with another bathroom that is just outside the door on that.
And one of the things that we're going to see next is going to be going back downstairs and outside to the backyard. And they've done a really great job of creating outdoor living space that can work just about all year long. One of the things that you can tell is that they've done a really great job of the vegetation and created more of a natural Texas landscape, so that this is one of those backyards that seems to have the ability to live and bloom year round rather than just be a really summertime yard.
Yes, so 11466 Eagle Bend Lane, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, a little under 4,000 square feet, priced at $423,900. That brings it in about 121 a square foot, which is really a great value
Absolutely.
for a home like this.
And we want to say thank you so much to Catherine Nessman for allowing us to feature your home. It's a wonderful home, and sure it will be off the market really soon.
Yep, thank you, Catherine. Our next home today is moving up in price point a little bit. So we've kind of moved to the mid price point, which is the 800s. And this is at 6688 Coffee Pot Road in Frisco. It is a 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath, about 4,800 square feet. And this is in Phillips Creek Ranch.
And this is, again, one of those neighborhoods that is extremely sought after. It's a larger neighborhood, but it has all the amenities that people need. And the school districts, again, what we're talking about in here, are very desirable and sought after neighborhoods. I believe that it's a 957-acre planned community in Frisco, which makes it probably one of the larger ones.
It is, and this is was actually part of the Phillips family ranch is where this land was developed from. And there's over 100 acres of green space in it. They have, there are 4 elementaries in the neighborhood, 2 middle schools, and the Rick Reedy High School, which is in Frisco ISD, is right outside the neighborhood. So master planned is like an understatement for this development.
So I did start in new home sales, and I know that the largest neighborhood I had ever worked in only had a single elementary. So for it to have 4, that kind of puts that into scale. It looks like 1,400 homes.
1,400 now with a 2,100 planned build out.
That's a lot of homes.
Yeah, and only 12 builders were allowed to build in here.
And so the interesting thing too is that when you drive through this community, they've done a really great job of continuing, like the neighborhood doesn't feel spotty or really, it doesn't get lost with certain looks. It's all the right look, and it continues throughout.
Yep. So this house, as we said, 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath, 3-car garage. Really great drive up on this. You actually head almost right into the driveway as you're coming down one of the cross streets there. Really cool porte-cochere with a motor court. The small building you see on the right there is the 3rd car bay garage. Walk into the hand scraped floors, big open feeling as you walk in, and the layout downstairs I think works really well.
It works out really well because I think that this is one of the combinations that a lot of builders, even locally, try to get, is to have an office down and then a full bedroom, full bath down, like we see here, that they've actually said, you know what, we're going to use this as a other space. And then it transitions into this amazing family room. And so many times you don't quite get the feeling in the pictures of how high a ceiling is. And I think in this one, it is crystal clear that it is a gorgeous high ceilings.
And I think they did a really good job. What were you talking about earlier when you were talking about the sofa?
So for me, this sofa is an arched sofa, and I think that it holds, and I'm going to say it, feng shui of this room so well that it just kind of, everything flows perfectly.
Yeah, and this is the granite countertops, open floor plan with the bar, with the herringbone style pattern on the backsplash in the kitchen. First floor master bedroom with the really big windows that look out onto the onto the backyard, and this is the shower that we call the car wash.
It is our favorite.
It's the one where you can walk in one side and walk out the other side.
It gets it all done. And they've spared no expense. Again, design selects were dead on this one. They all flow from the beginning to the end. What they've done here is they've converted a media room into an avid golfer's room. And so there were drivers all around that room. This is actually from utility. This is back downstairs off the kitchen. And this takes you out into the porte-cochere, and directly across from this is where that first car garage is.
This is one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were really great sized rooms. They each have ensuite baths in them, and you see marble or granite countertops, the white subway tile backsplash. And this is the living space right at the top of the stairs. And it's outfitted very well with lots of cabinet space, refrigerator, everything you need.
And downstairs, again, we're seeing more and more of the developers focusing on creating outdoor space that's covered for today's Texas sun. But you can see it's also stubbed for gas. And then this is actually the clubhouse area that is part of the HOA on this one. This is an amazing space. And as you can see here, you have an enormous pool. On the far right, you can see a little deck area, and then there's a water park throughout. So this is a 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath. It's a 3-car garage, 4,800 square feet, built in 2016, priced at $895, and that is $184.99 a foot.
And we want to say thank you to Carrie McCoy with our company for letting us talk about her listing today.
Great home, great home. Well, we're going to speed on up a little bit further and jump into the next one is on Versailles.
Yes, and this is a kind of shows the upper price point. There are homes that are more expensive in Frisco. You can easily get up into the $4, $5, $6 million range, but we wanted to kind of stop where we felt like people would have an interest in it. So this is priced at $1,475,000, and the address on this property is 5849 Versailles Avenue.
This is a great area. Again, as you drive through this portion of the Metroplex, it seems like there's a school here, there's a school there. This is Louisville Independent School Districts and has been rated exemplary or recognized in this area.
Yes. Stonebriar Village was originally part of the master planned community that included the Stonebriar Country Club. And so you'll notice a lot of similarity about the way the homes and the style look along with the country club. There are 217 homes in this neighborhood on 37 cul-de-sacs. And so they have really...
They got them combo.
Yeah, they have a nice combination. Remember when we drove through there, you don't feel like you're on that grid pattern like you do in many neighborhoods.
Yes, it feels like it's compartmentalized into smaller neighborhoods. And this one has an actual park that's in front of it. Statistically looking at this neighborhood, currently there are 13 homes on the market that average 1.6 million with 9 sales in the last year, and the average on those was 1.4. So this is actually priced directly in the sweetheart price point to sell.
Yeah, and the home itself, let's go ahead and jump into the home. This has such an amazing drive up on it. You just instantly feel like you're at home with the exterior lighting, the mature trees, the kind of traditional feel to the house. The garages are all hidden off to the side, so you've got this really cool multicolor pattern drive up, which is part of the walkway up to the house as well. And then when you walk in, this is the view you see when you come in the front door.
So these have really the large room. Again, we've talked about the large ceilings, and this does continue this. This is actually one of 2 staircases that are in this house, and as you can see, the fit and finish of this home is quite amazing with all of the gold that they've actually used. And this is the formal side, but what really got our attention was when it transitions into the family side.
Yeah.
And so here we're stepping into this amazing kitchen that wants for nothing, the paneling, the actual cooktop and appliances. It is all right there and creates this amazing living family entertainment space.
A lot of people right now want to see more of a painted cabinetry. And I think when you walk into this one, this is one of those that you would not do that to.
No.
It has such detail in the lead in the cabinet facing. in the woodwork around the doors. There's just so much handcraft work that's put into the property. You really don't want to change any of that.
No. And what this one, they've also done is the master's down, and this master has a little bayed out window and actually access to the pool that we'll get to later. But again, we've continued with the hardwood floors throughout, and inside the millwork continues that you saw on the balustrades, in the simple detailing as that they've used in the cabinets to add the feet and whatnot.
Yes, this is the office, which is up on the second floor, and a generous sized room. That's actually a very large desk in a very large room. And this is your informal workspace. So if you've got kids that you want to have a specified study space for, or you want a wrapping room, whatever it is, that's available to you. This is a small game room or a small sitting area that's on the upstairs. And then each of the bedrooms up there have the plantation shutters, wood flooring, tall ceilings, just generously oversized rooms.
And it's nice that you've got 3 of the bedrooms that are upstairs, and we're not going to show it here, but you have also a conditioned storage space that was amazing that could be used as another bedroom if you needed it. I doubt it. And then also upstairs you have this amazing space. This entertainment continues with an entire wet bar, including it was an ice maker, and this pool table then also does open out to a patio
that looks over the pool. And then you've got the media room that's just around the corner from the game room there. So talk about an entertainer's
And if you get tired of being in the family room or the upstairs living room, you can always come down and be entertained by the fire outside, and also have a grill. And this is a view of the pool from that second floor balcony.
The rock work that they've done with the water feature on this is really amazing. It has small potting areas built into it that have irrigation in, and they have lighting in them. So just a truly remarkable house, 5849 Versailles Avenue, 5 bedrooms, 6 full bath, 2 half bath, 3-car garage, priced at $1,475,000, which brings it in under $200 a square foot. And we'd like to say thank you to Jamie Coleman and Ryan Strive for letting us talk about their home today.
And this is just a small segment of the homes that the DPM family and Ebby family have up there. If there's something up there that you've seen, would like more information on, we'd love to hear from you. And check out the comments below. We've actually put links in there. So if you want to go back or even share them with someone at work or a family member, it's right there, easy for you.
Easy to do. And so in our second segment today, we get to interview Chris Kelly, and we will be right back. There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com, where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information, and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. And welcome back, everybody. Today, we have the distinct honor of welcoming Chris Kelly, the CEO, president of Ebby Halliday, Williams True, and Dave Perrymiller.
Thanks for having me.
Glad you're here.
Oh, awesome to be here. Appreciate
I think last time you were here, we were your victims.
That's right. Yeah, so it's payback time.
Right, yeah. Right. Tell us a little bit about you. I mean, you've been here a couple of years now. You've got your wife moved here.
Yeah.
You got a couple of kids here now. So
yeah, so we're loving North Texas. It's been an amazing move for us, especially this time of year when we, check in with family up north in Kansas City and it's snowing every other day. They got snow overnight again. And
wow.
Not snowing down here. It might be a little chilly today, but it's not snowing. And so we've really, really enjoyed the move down here. And it's been a little bit over a year now, and the family moved down in April, and kids have adjusted very well and acclimated, and school is awesome, and so we enjoy going back and seeing all our friends in Kansas City. But we are, I just officially got my Texas driver's license, so it's over. We're in the state. It's done.
So did you have to go stand in line for 2 hours?
It was a process, but it was worth it.
It
was worth it. It was like, they really want to make sure you really want to be in Texas.
Yeah.
So I passed the test.
A lot of people right now are when you watch them on Facebook, they're talking about the everybody's having to go get the gold star on their license to be able to get on airplanes. And the lines at a lot of service centers
Yeah.
are really
So my
long.
recommendation is I drove over to Fort Worth and did it over there. So it was perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. And you're a KSU grad.
Yeah.
So when I was reading through your bio, so it said you started out in architecture and you ended up in English?
I did, yeah, quite a transition there. So all through high school, I did drafting and architecture and thought for sure that when I went to school that I would end up an architect. And first semester, they bring in some folks and they talk to you and they say, typically takes most people about 5 years to go through this program. And if you're lucky, you'll get a job. And if you're really lucky, you'll make $17,000 a year. And I said, I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe I don't love this as much as I thought I did. And so I'd always thought about law school. I've been kind of told over the years, I think from the family members, like, you should go to law school. You should get paid for as much as you like to argue with us. And so transitioned to get an English degree in anticipation of going to law school.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. And so that kind of worked really well with your integration into Home Services of America and how that all started.
Yeah. So I was a real estate attorney in private practice for about 7.5 years, and then had the opportunity to go in-house as general counsel for what is our sister company in Kansas City, Reese Nichols. And so started off there as general counsel for a number of years, and then kind of over time slowly transitioned over to the business side, which 100% led to this opportunity down here.
And that was, the Reese Nichols company was kind of like the Abbey Halliday company.
Absolutely. Very similar in size, about 2,500 agents throughout Kansas City and some of the surrounding communities. Had been in existence since 1905.
Wow.
And Jerry Reese, I always like to kind of say, is kind of the Ebby of Kansas City, and a name that everybody's familiar with and knows.
Yeah, that's great. And then, so you were transitioned here 2 years ago now, or a year and a half or so?
Yeah, about a year and a half, yeah.
So what have you learned about Texas since you've been here? What is different than you thought it would be, I guess is a better way to...
The sheer size of it, for one. And certainly it's been really fun to kind of get to know the different market areas. And it was interesting, Kansas City is divided by a state line. So there was the Kansas side and the Missouri side. And we all got along, but we were very clear to make sure which side you were on.
It's like Dallas and Fort Worth.
Exactly. So that was that parallel I picked up on very quickly. But then I think it's micro markets within markets. Like you can't just say, oh, this is inside the 635 loop. There are very special areas within there that are very different from one another. So, knowing East Dallas and North Dallas and then the suburbs to the north. And I've had someone ask me, like, where is North Texas growing right now? And it's like, point any direction you want. And the answer is yes. And so even into West Dallas, where we're getting ready to move and transition our office down there to take advantage of the growth that's happening there. So I think I knew Dallas and Fort Worth were a hotbed for growth, but I probably didn't appreciate it until I got down here and saw just how many people and businesses were moving here and at the speed in which we are growing as a community.
And one of the things that I think Weston and I've noticed and really, really appreciate is the way you're kind of flattening the hierarchy in our company and bringing people in that I guess kind of bring new life to whatever areas. Our company's been, you've got to have a really good set of bones to be able to last 75 years like we have.
Absolutely.
So, but at some point, you've got to evolve with change, and I think you've done a really great job with that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, and to me, I'm a 100% believer in you're only as good as your team, and so it was very important to create that kind of team around us that needed to be nimble and quick and responsive to the market. And you and Weston know firsthand how quickly things change in real estate, whether it's market conditions or new business models or whatever it might be. And so we could not just kind of sit back and be slow about those. And so we needed a team that was in tune with what was happening in today's real estate market, so that we could be very responsive to the needs of our sales associates and then to the needs of their clients as well. And so putting that team together was super fun over the last year. I'm glad to have that in place now. And now I feel like in 2020, we're kind of really off to the races at this point.
I would agree with that. One of the things that we're also super impressed with is how you have really attacked core services. We're having Catherine Sims on just in a couple of weeks to kind of talk about how that runs. I guess kind of talk about that relationship.
Yeah, so I think that it's like a stool, right? The more legs on the stool, the more stable it is. And so I know our business model within home services has been to have all the suite of services that a consumer would need in that buyer or seller life cycle. And part of that is because as we go through different market conditions, so when we went through the recession of 2007, 8, and 9, our companies were able to remain profitable and continue to provide the services to its agents and the clients, even though the brokerage side was really down because so many people were refinancing and taking advantage of our mortgage and title operations. And so it's a needed part of your business. The other part of it is that consumers have said that they love the opportunity to streamline the housing process. And I always kind of like to use the analogy of like, if we bought a car the way that sometimes people have to buy a home, which is, hey, go over to this side of town, that's where you get the body, then you go to this other place and that's where you get your engine, and you come over here and that's where you get your interior, and all these companies will magically come together to make it work. I mean, it would be much more difficult. And so having everything together within one house is designed to make it easier for you and make it easier for the client as well. There's always going to be a challenge in a transaction, but if everyone's working on the same team, it makes it much easier to solve.
It really does, and we have seen that in our interaction with core services, because in many instances where we're the listing agent and we don't have control over where the buyer goes for the financing part of it, if we don't have an outside relationship with that lender doesn't care about us.
Yeah, and you get into sometimes the game of finger pointing, like why this happened, well, it's their fault, And within our model, it makes no sense to point because you're just literally pointing at a mirror. And so it's like, let's just solve the problem.
And we're super excited about that part of our company. So
and we appreciate the support.
A couple of things that have happened over the last year and a half since you've been here. Just this month you were appointed as not appointed, it's not the right term, recognized as the risk media agent of change, which takes a lot to get on that list. I've watched that for years. So
yeah, I was super thrilled, and I feel like every time I get one of these opportunities to make one of these lists or to be part of a panel, I really view myself as a representative of our brand and company, because I didn't change anything. We as an organization did. And so if it makes it easier to put my picture in that magazine as opposed to all 2,000 of us, that's fine. And I feel bad for the people that have to look at my photo, but I really am a representative of all of us. And we all got on that bus together to make those changes over the last year. And so anytime I see those types of honors, it is really on behalf of everybody.
You did a great job in the D Magazine interview, which those interviews can go one direction or the other, and you never quite know till they come out which way they are.
Yeah.
But I thought you did a really great job, and one of the things that you said in that stood out to me was talking about how when you decided to take this role on, you were very cautious not to try to, I can't remember the exact quote, not to walk in the shoes of the person before you, but to be able to pick up their legacy and carry that on.
Yeah, I really do believe that, when Ebby started this company, and then as it's grown over the years to include Dave Prey Miller and Williams True now, she did not get into the real estate business to keep things the same. I mean, she really shook it up. I mean, she got into a man's world and really changed things up. And so I think the way you honor that legacy is to continue to change and evolve. And I think she would be very proud of what all of us are doing at this point to continue to innovate and iterate every single day to get a little bit better.
I would totally agree with that. I think she would be very, very proud of what's happening with her company and how it's being run and how her agents are. We get to have dinner together tomorrow night.
That's right.
So what is tomorrow?
So tomorrow is the kind of kickoff for our 75th anniversary. We're going to celebrate it all year, but tomorrow is our 75th anniversary kind of Diamond Jubilee get together. And so it should be a big party to celebrate all of you and whatever we've done over the last 75 years. And so, we talk a lot about unicorns in the business world today, where, 90% of them will never see their 15th anniversary. So to have a company that hit year 75 is almost impossible.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited to celebrate with everyone tomorrow night and kind of kick off the year.
So it's great that I think it's very smart for you to try to bring everybody together in the company. We've got 30 plus offices now, plus all the core services offices and 2,000-ish people, I think.
Yeah, when you include employees and agents, we're well over 2,000, and especially when you factor in all of our core services staff as well. And so it's a big organization, and we're spread out all over the place, but those opportunities to bring everyone together, and what I'm excited about is for everyone to be in that room and look around and be like, wow, this is a powerful thing to be a part of.
Yep. And one of the other things that we're really excited about that you do for us is all the video that you've decided to take on.
I got a little inspiration for that, from you guys.
Did you really?
Well, of course. I mean, if you can do it on every week, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to do it every week. So yes, absolutely.
You do it more than once a week, though, I think, because of your real estate roadmaps. You have things that come out, like the thing that we're going to show in just a few minutes about the 75th anniversary. You have some agent training that comes out. You did a really great 100% remarkable video on fair housing.
Yeah.
That is something that is so, I mean, it's so near and dear to me because
Absolutely.
it is such a core part of what a realtor is about.
Correct.
And so anyway, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled to be here and always enjoy watching it every week.
Well, we want to close today with showing the 75th anniversary
Excellent.
video that you sent out to everybody.
Awesome.
So,
Let's do it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks for having me.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Long life is a privilege not everyone or every company gets to enjoy. As the Ebby Halliday Company celebrate a milestone anniversary this year, our 75th, we acknowledge this humbling fact with a spirit of gratitude. It all began in 1945 with one bold woman. Ebby Halliday parlayed her wisdom, generosity, business acumen, and moxie into what is now the #1 North Texas brokerage. And her legacy is still being carried out to the larger community through 2,000 plus agents and staff across 3 successful brands and affiliated core services companies. We're also appreciative of our affiliation with Home Services America, which recently became the country's #1 residential real estate company, according to Real Trends. Simply put, we begin 2020 in the best possible position to continue leading both in our industry and in our market. Watch for 2020 to be a memorable year of both looking back with pride and moving forward with anticipation for the Ebby Halliday Companies.
Thank y'all for joining us today. We've had a really, really great time.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.